All right, there we go. So in this video, I want to talk about apostrophes, right? Apostrophes indicates possession, right? So for singular things, we have apostrophe s. For plural things, we have the s apostrophe. All right. So if I said the desk, like the smell of a singular desk, the desk smell, right? I would say desk apostrophe s smell. However, if I'm talking about the smell of like many desks together, I would say the desk smell. So desks, it's plural, and then apostrophe. Now it's possessive, right? Smell. Okay. Um, Now, sometimes, like if a word ends in an S, right? There's, the most guidance says just put the apostrophe after the S and let it go. Some style manuals indicate that, you want to go ahead and always put an apostrophe S if it's singular anyway, right? And then some say that, it depends on how you say it. If you say like Mr. Jones' diary, all right, then it would be Mr. Jones apostrophe diary. But if you were to say, you know, Chris's Trapper Keeper, then you would say, CHRIS apostrophe S because it's Chris's as opposed to Jones. Right? Um, Typically, though, right, what I would say is, if it ends in an S apostrophe, be done. But this is one of those things where the style manuals, uh, you know, change more frequently than on other issues. So as long as what you do it consistently, then you're probably going to be fine. Okay. Now, when you have a series of possessors or something, right? If I said, you know, Tom and Terry's homework or project, let's go with that. Tom and Terry's project. Because I'm only adding possession to the last, to Terry, that indicates that, like Tom and Terry's, both of them work together to do this project. The project belongs to both of them. But if I say, you know, um, Tom's and Terry's projects, then that's, the projects of, Tom has a project, Terry has a project. Okay. I use apostrophe S for both of them because they each possess their own project. Right. As an aside, look, if you've got a list of nouns, in any case, right, you want to make sure that you list them first by third person nouns, and then second person nouns, and then first person nouns, right? You were probably taught that growing up, that it's John and I would like to go, or you and I should do this, right? First person nouns are always last, third person, second person, and then first person when you're listing them out. Okay. Um, Now, apostrophes also indicate omission, right? Like with contractions. Now, we've talked about this in a previous video, but I'll tell you again that in truth, when apostrophes indicate possession, they are also indicating omission. Because of course, when the Anglo-Saxons or when English speakers from 1500 years ago, um, when they talked about possession, they had a very particular ending of the noun, that was showing possession. So they declined their nouns the way that Spanish speakers conjugate their verbs. So if a noun was the subject of a sentence, it had a particular ending. If it was the direct object of a sentence, it had a particular ending, and or of a verb. And then so in this case, if a noun was showing possession, it had a particular ending, and the ending most often used was like es, right? Well, we still do that, except we hide that e with an apostrophe. So chairs, right? Instead of it being chars, yeah, AIRES, with the declension there, right? We just take that e out, put the apostrophe in, and there we go. Okay, so possession, omission, it's the same, right? But getting back to it, if we take cannot, squish them together, we get can't with an apostrophe. Would not becomes won't with the apostrophe, or will not too, right? Will not, would not, both. Um, Put it with a not, right, as a contraction, WON apostrophe T Okay, I'm, right? O'clock, right? The apostrophe just stands for of the clock, or of the, really, F and then THE. So o'clock, right? 2 o'clock. Okay. And then this is another one of those things. This last thing that apostrophes do. Um, this is one of those things that indicate, or that style manuals kind of change more frequently on as well. For example, CD, instead of having C, like capital C, capital D, and then lowercase s, or maybe now I guess more topically like DVDs, like all caps and then S. For a time, style manuals would tell you to put like an apostrophe S after it. A's, like I got 4 A's on the report card, right? You'd use like that. And that way it doesn't look like as. Okay. Same thing with like plus signs, or asterisks. Like I want to put an asterisk there. I want to talk about how many asterisks are in a given book or something. I might do that. Um, but for example, like the 1990s with the apostrophe s, that's not used so much anymore. Okay. But this is something that you might see again. Okay. So there we go. Apostrophes.